The EU's poor vaccine rollout could be blamed on Brussels' meagre investment on early vaccine research, which was approximately 7 times less than the UK and US spending, new figures show. The EU has faced widespread criticism for its lackluster approach to vaccination. This reached a new peak when Brussels hit out at AstraZeneca after the UK-based developer confessed it would not be able to meet the requested quantities of the vaccine for the bloc. The pharmaceutical giant told Brussels that as it had signed a contract 3 months after Westminster, it was far less likely to receive all the requested doses. The bloc then condemned the developers and temporarily triggered an emergency measure of the Brexit deal to prevent unimpeded vaccines entering Northern Ireland from the Republic of Ireland. The bloc's fractured approach towards AstraZeneca was then evident when French President Emmanuel Macron dubbed the vaccine quasi-ineffective, just moments before the European Medicines Agency approved the jab for use on all adults. Scientists in other EU countries, such as Germany and Belgium, have also warned the elderly not to get the AstraZeneca vaccine, making the public spat between Brussels and the developers seem pointless. Such a mismanaged response has left the international community completely stunned. However, the CEO of scientific data company Airfinity, Rasmus Bech Hansen, pointed out that these blunders can be traced back to how much the EU has invested in the vaccines. He explained that pre-purchase agreements, where a nation promises to pay a set amount for a certain number of vaccines, have been key to get vaccination programs moving. Speaking to BBC Radio 4's How to Vaccinate the World, he said, "There is risk transfer. The governments are taking on risk from the private sector. Early interventions have been critical, as we have seen. We analyze the numbers and funding numbers between the EU, the UK and the US. The UK and the US have invested 7 times more pre-approval in these vaccines than the EU has." Airfinity's research reveals the UK has spent £25 per person on early COVID-19 research when it committed £1.67 billion to vaccines before knowing if they would be effective.